YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka DMC now stands for Dick Move Capcom, aka Developers May Cry after I'm done with them today. That's right. For those who don't know, there's been a new interview that's been pushed out by Ninja Theory, alright, which has no ninjas on staff, which is pretty disappointing, and no theory to their methods, motives, madness, or actions. Yet, they have a lot of arrogance. That's right, you heard me, arrogance. Because the fact is, in this new video, all they've done is laugh at the fans. You know what? Let's just show the clip right now, alright? Let's get into it.
I'm here with Alex, producer on DMC for Capcom, and Tamim, executive director of DMC.
My name is Dante.
Tamim.
Dante.
Oh, first off, we're not starting this interview off like this. You're not Dante. No matter how bad you want to walk around the city with 2 guns and a sword, you're not him. You're not him, bro. It's that simple. I understand you want to be him so bad you can taste it, but guess what? Get off his nuts. It's that simple. You're not him. Would you let the chick do her interview, would you please? Because, you know what? I'm getting tired of this. All right, just roll clip. Just please, roll clip.
Exactly makes it a reboot.
Well, we're going back to the creation myth of Dante, so retelling the origin of how this character became this character. So that's basically the bottom line.
Wow, I mean, that was a great first question. That was such a tough question. I would have never thought about answering that. I mean, this is spot-on journalism by G4. I would have never hit that curveball around the park. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Look, gaming journalists, let me ask you something real quick, all right? Why is it when we, the consumers, who are the ones paying for these products, why is it when we ask questions, they go ignored? Why is it when we want hard-nosed, legit questions answered, you go the opposite route? You do the soft questions, you hold their fucking hand, and these slow pitches, I mean, seriously, you give them everything they need to answer in a positive light instead of being balanced. I don't understand. This is why gaming journalism doesn't work. This is why fans get angry, okay? This is exactly why. This is a joke. You should be ashamed of yourself. But you know what? Let's just go on with the interview some more. Come on, let's just go.
And one of those that got to change is obviously his look got a little bit of an overhaul. Because he's younger in this series, right?
Yeah, so like the story is about how Dante becomes the guy he becomes. So there are elements that look different about him. But he looks different as well because like the original, I think when the original DMC came out, it was just all about being cool. And it got elements of, you know, popular culture, music, and movies, action cinema, and made this thing that was Devil May Cry. And we're trying to take the... But that was a long... How long was that? That was about 10, 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Hold up! You don't want to sit here and tell me we have developers that are developing Devil May Cry who don't even know when the original came out? Say it ain't so. Seriously, you gotta be kidding me. And on top of this, he goes on to say that Devil May Cry was just about being cool. False. It was about being innovative. It lifted the action genre up. That's what you're not understanding. We had a completely different experience. It raised the bar. Where are you getting that this was just supposed to be cool? And then you go on to say that it took elements from all these different Hollywood movies, which you're wrong again. It took one thing from one movie, and that was the gameplay style, the gun style from John Woo. That was it. Where are you getting this crap?
Times have moved on, and the stuff that was cool back then isn't cool anymore.
Oh, you mean like wearing tight shirts like it was back in the 90s in the club? Look, Captain Spandex, you and Lieutenant Whisker Biscuit need to sit down and realize this shit ain't working. You look like you getting ready to go rob a jewelry store, Catwoman. Let me find the fuck out. You two are shopping at Baby Gap while trying to make a hardcore video game. It's over for y'all. It's over. And as far as I'm concerned, you are the only person who has claimed that Dante's look is outdated, all right? Nobody else, every other gamer is like, we don't have a problem with it. Would you change Mario too? If you got your hands on it, this is why it doesn't work, all right? As far as I'm concerned, you've shown nothing but disrespect to us gamers. You already came out and said that, you know, I don't care what the gamers think and this, that, and third. Mind you, we're the fans that's paying for it, though, right? You're the fans you're trying to cater to, though, right? And see, we'll get into that later, though, all right? The fact is, you're a joke, and you should know better by this, but your ego is so fucking high, we're going to have to knock you down a couple notches now, all right?
The whole impact that DMC had at that time is something we were trying to recreate, but it's not with the same references. It's new references, new movies.
Oh, you mean like Twilight?
New fashion, new music, but underground scene because he's young.
So let me get this straight. You're implying that underground and youth go hand in hand. You're implying that every kid knows about underground. You know, I would love to see your evidence that backs your claims on that. The fact is, you don't even know what underground is. You're just some flamboyant guy who wears tight shirts and thinks he knows what he's talking about. You're trying to tell kids this is what you should be into. You ever think about that?
What are the most important aspects of the franchise that you want to preserve?
I think the main thing is the feel of the combat, because the combat was always about really tight, responsive controls and the style system, and so that DNA we definitely want to keep, and that's why we're working with Capcom Japan, in particular Itsuno-san, who was involved in all 4 DMCs.
I mean, I guess the other thing that always stands out about the series for me, too, is the boss battles and how kind of spectacular and also creative that they get. Are you drawing from, past enemies, or are you just creating something entirely new?
Well, we don't want to talk about guys that might be in the game or not, but this is actually one area where we are in super close collaboration with the guys in Japan, because they are, bosses are their specialty.
Hold up. If Capcom Japan is doing the gameplay and the bosses, what are you doing? What are you doing that staples your name onto this?
Every time that you're working with an already established franchise and being a new developer to it, there's always a little bit of controversy, people that don't necessarily want things tampered with. What are some of the most ridiculous accusations or discussions that you've seen regarding DMC?
There was I had like a 4,000 comment thread about why his hair wasn't white.
I don't see what's so funny. The fuck you laughing at the fans for? Those are the guys who are paying for the game so that you can keep your jobs.
Happy.
Is it hard not to want to step in there and go like, oh gosh, you're so wrong about that?
You worked on it for a year and a half to get it to this point, and you have, what you think is a pretty good debut, and then, 90,000 people pile on with, his hair's not white.
Now hold the fuck on! Now we saw the reports, because they lied. We saw the reports, alright, that Ninja Theory could not do anything until the character design was finalized, so it was authorized by Capcom. Right? We saw this. So, let me get this straight. Tamim went out and bought a bunch of Vogue magazines and said, I want this, and this, and I want you guys, talking to his team of artists, to make it happen. And every time they sent out a design, what happened? It was flushed down the toilet. It was thrown out the window. Dante got to the point where he had suspenders on. Yeah, suspenders on. It looked like the boy from The Clash, and they trashed that shit too. The fact is, Ninja Theory doesn't know what they're doing. It took them a year. It took them a year to get authorized to use the design they have now, which was just throw his fucking face on it. And the fact is, they're sitting here saying it took them a year and a half to do this. What have you done? If you said it yourself, if Capcom is working on a tight gameplay and the bosses, what are you doing? Are you just going to take stuff from a bunch of movies, which that's what it sounds like. You're taking references from a bunch of movies and just trying to spice it up. That's what you're doing. That's nothing. You gonna put your name on that? I'm sorry, but that's not enough, bro. But let's get into all of this, because the fact is people have been sending me messages about the story, this, that, and the third, and I understand that the Capcom developers or Ninja Theory developers don't want to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil it too much for you guys, alright? But the fact is, after getting mail from YouTubers, gamers, manga, and anime fans, let me tell you, it does seem like, people, that Devil May Cry will be following the manga adaptation. It seems like it'll be a loose adaptation that Capcom is following, but it will be to the point where Dante is not named Dante yet. His name was Tony. We'll see how that goes, alright? That's what it seems like right now. But let's get into the history of this, because that's what's more important. The fact is, y'all ready? Here we go. Capcom wanted to get out of the shadow of the original Devil May Cry, okay? Since the original creator is no longer with Capcom, right? With me so far? Okay. Now, with that being said, they wanted to cater to the Western audiences, so they went and hired a subpar company in Ninja Theory to cater to us. And then, when the Western audiences finally saw what it looked like, they said, what? We don't like it. And what did Ninja Theory say in response? We don't care if you like it. What do you mean you don't care if we like it if you're supposed to be catering to us? See, this doesn't work. This is why it doesn't. This is why you look like a bunch of jackasses. Alright? You're supposed to be catering to the fans. Now, mind you, Capcom is expecting to sell 5 mil. And with this pissed off PR work, I don't get it. I really don't understand this. You have to understand, Ninja Theory, this is not about you. It's not about you, Tam Tam. Not at all. Alright, your creative vision, what's cool, that shit don't matter. They can get someone else to do that. The fact is, you don't make any sense. And you've pissed off the fans. Capcom wants 5 mil, they're looking, 5 million units, they're looking at your sales from Enslaved and saying, hey, they didn't sell too much. And then you got gamers looking at Enslaved and say, hey, they didn't sell too much, the gameplay isn't that good, and the platforming sucks. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The fact is, it's pathetic. And this is what it's come down to. Capcom, I wouldn't even be surprised if Capcom backed off you guys a little bit. Because now it seems like you're being a little restrictive. How can you say that you're a developer when you're not even developing by yourself all 100%? They didn't throw it in your hands and say, look, this is what you want you to do, go at it. No, they didn't do that. No, they said, look, we're going to put gloves on you. Because the fact is, You're not that good, and they know that. That's why they still have their team in Japan still working on it. They're watching over you. You think you have some freedom, but you don't. You don't. Anyways, let's keep going and see what they say more about the interview.
He looks emo.
Yeah.
But he put a cigarette
out in the guy,
someone.
which is about the least emo thing I can think you can do is torturing someone with a cigarette.
We must have some type of miscommunication here, because the fact is, he looks emo. He looks like a fucking drugged out runway model who wants to put cigarettes out on mannequins, or some fake ass Silent Hill nurses, some fucking sex toys. Look, let me tell you something, alright? Apparently, you don't know what Dante is about. Dante isn't about torturing his enemies. He's a playful character. He's an arrogant character. Meaning, he'll play around with you, let you last long enough and say, hey, I'm Dante. I decide when you live or die. That's what he did. He didn't even need to smoke. And the original creator said that he wasn't trying to smoke because it wasn't cool. But now all of a sudden you think it's cool. This is pathetic, man. Go somewhere. You want me to buy your bullshit ass wet dream fan fiction over glorified fan fiction because you think it's fucking cool. Get out. You get nothing from me.
You get nothing!
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 Nothing from me! So tell me, Ninja Theory, why should I take anything you say seriously, and what makes you such a great developer of this game?
I'd rather have them talking about us than not talking about us.
Oh, so now you want to be an attention whore. You know what? You've said enough. You don't have to worry about me buying your little fucking game. Fuck you, Ninja Theory, because this has been something that's happened a lot as of late, where developers think they're just so fucking great they can do nothing wrong. You got another thing coming to you, bruh. Anyways, get back to me on this, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.